Yeah, fix that.
Good evening and welcome back to the award-winning Squared Circle. I'm John Zimmerman, my co-host Jacob Zimmerman, and of course we all know the thunderous one.
The thunderous one, that is correct, sir.
Tom Dacey. I'm going to start out with the big announcement we teased on our webpage. First, I apologize for the delay. We had some technical difficulties and our crack staff got right on it, and we are back with you. The big announcement today, we at the award-winning Squared Circle have always strived to improve our show. Over the past year, we've had the pleasure and good fortune to have worked with several talented and creative people. We would like to take this time to recognize one person in particular who has been an integral part of our growth. By always being supportive, both on the set and by administering our web presence, this man has answered the call of duty above and beyond. It is our pleasure to announce the addition of a new permanent co-host, Mr. Tom Dacey.
Thank you. I know we've been in meetings all week, and I thank you for sending the limo out for me this evening.
Absolutely.
And quite a contract you gave me.
Yes, you know, I had to shave a little off of my salary to give you what you asked for, but in the long run, I think it's worth it.
Of course, Hollywood Jay is still in his coma.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know anything about this yet.
Well, you know, we shaved a little off of his salary too, but at the moment, he's not objecting.
But I look forward to working with you on the set as well as behind the scenes.
Yeah. Tom has been here for every show we've done, rarely missing. And on the event that you weren't here, you put us online. You get us onto the internet, bliptv.com, of course, YouTube. You do a lot with our Facebook account. Tom has just got his fingers in all the pie, shall we say.
And don't worry, Ed McCarver, you're not getting rid of me.
No, of course, you're going to do double duty now. And
yes.
You still have talking with Tom. Are you on this week?
No, we're actually going to be on the night before Halloween.
Oh, I see you've got your mask on already.
So does Ed.
Oh!
Never takes one.
I think he's got a crying Jets fan today.
No. Yeah, well, Ed made quite a prediction last week for the Jets, and wasn't so fortunate this week.
But we have some wrestling to talk about, so why don't we get right to it?
The notes that you wrote?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Tom was kind enough to jot down some notes for us, and since we'll save the independent team for last because that's, you know, we never talk about it. So let's start out with TNA. Yes. TNA is on a downward spiral, and there's very little news, but Impact this week started out with.
First, Austin Aries defeated Jeff Hardy. ODB defeated Jesse via disqualification when Rhea Tappa interfered, finally using a gut check person.
She's quite an interesting looking woman, let me tell you.
Yeah, she's a large lady, large and in charge, it seems.
Yep.
We'll see more of her because apparently she comes really cheap.
Brooke defeated Velvet Sky to become #1 contender for the Knockouts Championship.
No surprise there because previously that Lady Tappa injured Velvet Sky.
Right.
So there was no surprise with that match.
Yep.
That was a rib injury, I believe.
Yes.
Bobby Roode was inducted into the Ego Hall of Fame, but was confirmed by this newly named Bound for Glory opponent, the return of Kurt Angle.
Yeah, Kurt Angle came out and confronted Mr. Roode.
Were you surprised to see him back? I didn't think he was going to come back until the pay-per-view.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, but on the flip side, with Hogan gone, which we'll discuss in a little bit, they need star power in there. You know, and Mickey James is currently not with them, and they're getting like very slim on the roster. I think the number right now is down to
45 after the disappearance of Hulk Hogan, which we'll get to in a minute.
Yeah.
I counted it last night, and including announcers, last night it was 46, but Hogan was still on there.
Right.
Was Lady Tappa on there?
I don't recall seeing her.
So,
yeah, about 45, 46.
Yeah. So we're TNA's down to a roster under 50.
Yeah.
And it's going to get pretty stale pretty quick. Because those 50,
I think it already has. I mean, look at the empty seats in the arena.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as you can see on our Facebook group, I think they haven't sold out any tickets for next week's show as of yet. And the front row tickets are still available, and we're going to have some empty seats. And if you watch the show, you can see a lot of empty seats in the arena.
Well, I
it's
believe
horrible.
Dixie Carter said maybe last week or 2 weeks that they will be going back to Universal permanently.
That remains to be seen. I know she is looking for a permanent spot to go back to, but I'm doubting that Universal is going to fit the bill.
I don't think so.
Well, she's finding a permanent place, but let's continue. Sting and Magnus defeat Bad Influence, Chris Daniels, and Kazarian. Therefore, they do have a match at Bound for Glory a week from Sunday. AJ Styles defeats Nuck and Garrett Bischoff. Afterwards, Bully Ray will give them a beatdown.
Well, I think at this point you can defeat Nux and Garrett Bischoff, to be honest with you.
I mean, what's there, 3 members left in?
5, including Tito Ortiz and Taz.
I think they just forgot about Tito.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And Rampage.
Quentin Rampage Jackson, yeah. The two fellas from Bellator went back to Bellator, and I think that experiment kind of blew up in their face as well.
I do too, and I mean, very strong words this week from Dixie Carter.
Yes.
Yeah, let's get to
on
Ms.
TNA.
Carter. Yeah.
She came out at the beginning to address the situation with Hulk Hogan last week.
The man who shall not be named.
Yeah, and she didn't want to name him.
Right.
She kept saying the man who shall remain nameless.
Right.
She doesn't want his name mentioned in the arena or at any TNA event.
Yeah.
And she said, I don't need no Vince behind me.
Right.
Or no Stephanie Levesque.
And that being said, Dixie being quite upset with he who shall not be named, which is Hulk Hogan. There was a signing of Hulk Hogan in Connecticut on Sunday in Stamford at the WWE headquarters. We can speculate that Vince and Hulk may have a reunion.
You think we might see him in the near future?
Survivor Series is coming up pretty soon.
Maybe a guest spot on Monday Night Raw tonight?
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know about tonight, but I think we're going to see one final hurrah for Mr. Hulk Hogan.
Do you think that means that him and Vince finally buried the hatchet?
Hatchet or no hatchet, dollars talk. And anytime Hulk has done business with Vince, they've made money together. So, you know what? They can put the hatchet away for the day and start counting the green dollars.
What capacity do you see Hulk Hogan coming in as?
Certainly not wrestling. Maybe he can head up a new faction of the NWO.
Maybe if they bring Devon.
Well, you heard the interview that we've shown a couple of times on the show with Mr. Devon. And he hinted that he had another run in him, and it wasn't with TNA. So that kind of narrows it down.
So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, it should get interesting, and I think the buzz that Hulk Hogan will bring to the WWE, particularly with the video game coming out, and Hulk Hogan being an integral part of that, that franchise. It should be interesting.
Don't even get me started on the video game. I don't know why Rock is on it to begin with.
Right. Well, at least not on the cover. He should be in. Yeah, obviously he should be a character in the game, but I don't think he should be on the cover of the game.
No. What? Because he comes back once a year?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like somebody else.
Right.
Well, let's go to the WWE now.
Okay, because that's all we talk about.
Yep.
Ratings dropping.
SmackDown. Let's skip the talking for now and just go straight to the matches.
Yep.
The first match was R-Truth vs. Curtis Axel. Championship was on the line. Curtis Axel was Chris Axel won and retained the title. Las Lopez versus
Los Locals.
Los Locals, thank you. Versus El Matadors. Winner El Matadors. Brie Bella and the Funkadactyls versus Natalia, Caitlin, and Eva Marie. Winner Brie and the Funkadactyls. Damian Sandow, Alberto Del Rio. Winner Alberto Del Rio. The Primetime Players versus and Great Khali versus 3MB. Winner Primetime Players and Great Khali. And Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus the Wyatt family.
Their first defeat, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, you're moving awful quick. I want to go back to Damian Sandow, but before we do that, we have a caller on the line. Let's take the call real quick. Good evening. You're live on the Squared Circle.
Hey.
Hello?
Is this the famous Jenny B?
It is.
Oh, how are you feeling this evening?
Awful.
Yeah, Jenny B had to have her wisdom teeth pulled out. So you lost a little weight today. That's good news.
Like 4 pounds.
Well,
4 pounds. Those are some giant teeth, honey.
No, I lost all 4 teeth.
4 teeth. Yeah, I don't think the teeth were 1 pound each.
No, I'm counting the blood that's been coming out of me.
Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, I think we should take the teeth and maybe auction them off on eBay. Make a little necklace out of them. I think you'd have a fan out there that would pay some big money for that. And then you can take, you can take that money and buy yourself a new set of shoes.
I want the original shoes.
You know, we put an APB out there. We put be on the lookout for these gorgeous shoes.
Wait a minute, let me look. You sure you're not wearing them, John?
Oh, they're not my size. I tried them on though.
Oh, did you?
But when are we going to see you again? You're going to be out of commission for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, as you know, Jen was supposed to be on the show tonight, and unfortunately, she had an oral emergency today, and she's under the weather. She had some wisdom pulled out of her, or wisdom teeth pulled out of her.
I had some wisdom pulled out of me. No.
That was a Freudian slip.
Odd enough.
And of course, we want to wish her a happy belated birthday.
Absolutely. We had a cake here all ready for you.
Oh, my first cake.
Oh, my goodness.
First birthday cake, at least.
We were hoping you were going to jump out of it, but...
Oh. Maybe next time.
My goodness. But we wish you all the luck in the world. I hope you get a speedy recovery, and we appreciate you calling in. Anything you need to promote this week, sweetheart?
Nope, I have to cancel everything. I did one photo shoot yesterday, and everything else has been totally canceled.
Oh, my goodness. Well, you know, anything you need, you call on us first.
Oh, thank you.
You take care, Jenny, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Look out for my shoes at the thrift shop or wherever you guys go.
Absolutely. And when you return, we're going to have a belated birthday cake for you.
Yay.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny.
Good night. Oh, a little quick on the trigger finger there. That was Jacob. But yeah, we had her on last week, and we promised she would return. And unfortunately, you know, things happened. And she went in this morning.
Yeah, for a
routine checkup, and ended up getting surgery.
So we wish her a speedy recovery.
Absolutely. Sandow.
Before we get there.
Yep.
In related news, Del Rio comes out and begs Vicky Guerrero to stop the match at Hell in a Cell against John Cena, and then Sandow comes out and say Del Rio is too scared, and then Del Rio cheap shots Sandow, and that's how we get the match.
Right.
So.
And what was Del Rio thinking? Kissing Vicky Guerrero?
Hey, you know, other people have done it and gotten to the top. Edge, Ziggler, Eddie Guerrero. So, you know, it might not be a bad thing. I wouldn't want to do it, but, you know.
I was going to say, you volunteering?
Right.
Well, Eddie Guerrero is at the bottom right now.
Eddie Guerrero's at the bottom. Yeah, he's 6 feet under. Bada boom, right?
Under whose border?
Oh my goodness, let's not go there. But Sandow versus Del Rio. Who's the heel and who's the face?
I think we might find that out tonight.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a turn, Damian Sandow, because he's a fan favorite, and as fight as they may, Vince can't fight against the fans. And the fans want him to be a face, and he more than likely will be a face. So,
Where is Monday Night Raw tonight, by the way?
It's in St. Louis, Missouri, right? As some people we know. We know quite a few people in Missouri.
Yes, we do.
and they happen to reside in Wallingford. But anyway, primetime players you mentioned with Great Khali. Right,
against 3MB.
Yep, they're on the upswing. So I mean, they're big.
Is that going to be a new permanent team? No.
Primetime players and Khali.
Yeah.
Khali needs somebody to carry him. Quite literally. So I mean,
I just love the three of them dancing together the other night. That was funny.
My goodness. Always good for a comedy bit. Always good for a comedy bit. Cody Rhodes, Goldust.
Great to see them back.
Yep.
This match has Goldust written all over it. Goldust hits Harper with a flying forearm. Goldust hits Harper with an atomic drop. Rowan hits Goldust with a back elbow. Harper pushed Goldust into the corner and goes for a drop kick, but Goldust hangs on, hits a DDT, and taps in Cody Rhodes. Cody gets involved with both Rowan and Harper, one after the other, but Harper manages to take Cody out. He goes for the disgust clothesline, but Goldust takes it instead. Cody takes advantage of the situation, goes for the pin. Your winners, Cody, Rhodes, and Goldust.
So Wyatt's first defeat.
Yes.
Yeah, at the hands of the
Rhodes.
Right, the Rhodes brothers. Right. What do you? Is Goldust going to remain Goldust, or are they going to bust him out of that character and just make him?
I don't know.
Dustin Rhodes.
I don't know. That's a good question.
If they make him Dustin Rhodes, what would his character be?
Just
Dustin?
Dusty Rhodes' son. Yeah.
That's a good question.
I think I would prefer that to see the brothers angle, rather than have Goldust. We've seen him as Goldust for long enough, and we all know who he is underneath the makeup and the jumpsuit. And I mean, it was fun when he was back in the Attitude Era when he was doing that androgynous kind of bit where he was straight, gay, who knows.
Speaking of the Rhodes, let's switch gears for a minute and talk about the Big Show.
Yep.
Of course, last week on Monday Night Raw, he was fired, and then proceeded to punch out Triple H.
Yeah, and if anyone saw the after footage online, I happened to get a text message on my phone to watch it as well. They showed Triple H getting escorted out of the ring, carried out of the ring actually, and the little melee backstage. So it's interesting, to see Big Show once again after having that ironclad contract last year.
Yeah, which they conveniently forgot about.
Yeah, but and now he's out of the company again. So maybe Big Show will escort the 24-inch pythons back into the ring.
Here's my prediction. I think they're setting this up for a match between the Big Show and Triple H.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
While we're talking about
an upcoming pay-per-view.
Yeah.
If not Hell in a Cell, maybe Survivor Series.
I think, Hell in a Cell would be a really fast turnaround for that feud, but yeah, Survivor Series sounds good.
While we're talking about Raw from last week,
yep.
Ziggler faced Sandow in a rematch from Battleground on the pre-show. Ziggler won. In the second match, Natalya, Eva Marie, and JoJo faced Alicia Fox, Rosa Mendes, and Oksana. The results, Natalya locked Alicia in the sharpshooter, forcing her to submit, thus the win for her team. Drew McIntyre in Jinder Mahal with Heath Slater, versus Los Matadores with El Torito, the bull.
Right.
I love the little El Torito.
Yeah. There's a bit. I've had enough of the bull all week, though. But anyway.
The results: Los Matadores attacked McIntyre with a double wrist lock, Samoan drop, then won for his team via 3 count. Ryback and Curtis Axel with Paul Heyman, CM Punk and R-Truth. I would just like to point out, CM Punk is facing Ryback at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
What happened last year?
What happened last year?
Punk versus Ryback for the WWE Championship.
Right.
Yeah. The result of that, Truth delivered a corkscrew scissors kick to Axel and covered him for the 3 count. Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston. Orton won the match via pinfall, striking Kingston with an RKO. Vicky making the big announcement. Alberto Del Rio versus Ricardo Rodriguez. Results: before the match commenced, Vicky Guerrero came out and announced that Del Rio will defend the championship in the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view against John Cena. Taking advantage for the distraction, Rodriguez quickly rolled up Del Rio to score a pinfall victory. Later, Del Rio locked his former announcer in a cross-arm breaker with his arm locked to the steel chair.
Yeah, you know, we mentioned on our website as well the early return of John Cena. Were we deceived at his injury, or is he coming back sooner than
Later?
Than he
I
should?
think he's coming back too soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I think with the ratings drop, they really want John Cena
really
back.
need him to come back.
Yeah, and I hope it's not against doctor's orders or a sound mind that he's going to come back not fully recovered. Because in the long run, you don't want to see anybody
come back too soon.
Right, come back too soon
and make the injury worse.
Right, make it worse and go back out for even longer, or be permanently injured, and then really unable to work. Hogan is a great example of it. Hogan's going back to him. It's going to be interesting to see if they can actually get him to wrestle, because he's not in the shape to. Unfortunately, and you hate to see your heroes fall.
I mean, I'm surprised Sting is still doing as much as he is.
Yeah, but if you notice, it's a lot of tag matches. It's a lot of run-ins and stuff like that. It's never a singles match for more than...
he has one at Bound for Glory against Magnus.
Right, but I predict a very short match. I don't predict...
He had one against Bully Ray at SummerSlam. I mean, Slammiversary.
Yes.
And he got pile drive onto the wood.
Yeah. These guys at their age and the injuries they've had, they're really putting themselves out there on the line, and hopefully it's worth it.
Because it's best for business.
Yeah, it's good for business, but if you're going to injure yourself permanently for the rest of your life, money can't solve that.
Nope.
Well, going back to Raw.
Yep.
That guy faced Fandango.
Are either of these guys relevant anymore?
That guy is trying to make a comeback.
Yes, he
Whoa.
Who?
Fandango is Summer Rae. Fandango attacks Ryder with a leg drop from the top rope, then pinning for the 3. Later in the show, the results of a poll that was conducted to determine the guest referee for the Randy Orton vs. Daniel Bryan match at Hell in a Cell pay-per-view was that Shawn Michaels emerged as the winner, defeating Booker T and Bob Backlund. Wow, they put Bob Backlund on that list?
I would have liked to see Bob Backlund.
As the referee? He would have been fair, at least.
Mr. Bob Backlund.
Right.
Mr. Joseph Von Schmidt.
If you want to tap out, you have to name all the presidents first.
The Real Americans, Antonio Cesaro and Jack Swagger with Zeb Coulter versus Greg Holly and Santino Morale with Hornswoggle. Result: Cesaro repeatedly the other night
Battleground pay-per-view sequence took Khali for another big swing, winning the match for his team by pinfall.
Triple H knocked out We already touched on that.
Yep.
Daniel Bryan, Goldust, and Cody Rhodes versus The Shield, Dean Ambrose, United States champion,
Right.
Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, tag team champions, and they made history. I believe they held the titles for 148 days, making history. Results: Bryan caught Rollins in the S-lock, but Dean Ambrose red steel chair, resulting in the referee calling off the match due to disqualification. But Triple H came out and ordered the match to resume with no DQ. As the match resumed, Orton came out of nowhere and attacked Daniel Bryan outside the ring with an RKO. He then threw Bryan back in the ring. Rollins covered Daniel Bryan and sealed in an easy win for the team. Later, when the Shield were busy taking out Goldust and Cody, Big Show, who was earlier humiliated and fired, came out. Triple H then quickly covered himself behind the Shield. Big Show then took out the Shield and then knocked out Triple H with a powerful punch. Bryan got back into the ring and chanted, "Yes, yes, yes," as the show faded out.
And this just in, I think you touched on this already. Shawn Michaels will be live on Raw tonight, and it's Cody and Goldust versus The Shield for the tag team titles. So, will they stop the streak?
As much as I like The Shield, I would like to see Cody Rhodes and Goldust to have the titles and then lose them back to The Shield at TLC or Royal Rumble.
Should be interesting. When was the last time we had brothers hold the titles?
Hardys?
I was going to say, the Hardys?
Want to go back to the Hardys?
Didn't they consider Primo and
Oh yeah, Primo. No, they were cousins.
I don't care.
They were, they weren't brothers.
Right, they were cousins.
Were Carlito and Primo cousins?
That's what I just said.
Oh,
right.
What about Epico?
I don't know how they're related. I think the last...
I forget what they called him.
Yeah.
Brother, cousin, something like that, relative.
So, I mean, it's been a while. And then we can have brother versus brother and bring in the Usos. Have the Rhodes versus the Usos. Well, all second generation. And brother versus brother match.
I think in the near future, you'll see Kane return. I just saw on the internet today that he finished filming his movie.
That's correct, yeah. He filmed See No Evil Part 2, which we're all dying to see. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat waiting to see See No Evil 2.
8 years.
Yeah. When is Leprechaun coming out with Hornswoggle? Because, you know, these WWE movies are just so fantastic. And you know, the sad part is we watch them.
Yeah. So you think Kane will reemerge at Survivor Series, possibly?
That's possible. Speaking of brother, because he's brother of destruction, him and Undertaker.
What about Devil's Playground, Hell in the Cell?
Yeah, that's possible too. Pardon me?
You can't say devil is politically incorrect.
Oh, we're not allowed to say.
And this is a G show.
Right. The devil. Well, to some people, I am the devil. El Diablo Blanco. Well, that covers Raw from last week.
Yep.
And Raw coming up tonight. Keep an eye out for Hulk Hogan. I doubt tonight, but in the near future.
Let's just see what's going to happen with this whole Triple H thing now. What's the repercussions for Daniel Bryan?
Yes. You know what? I wish they would get this whole angle with Daniel Bryan over with. Either make him champion, don't make him champion, move on.
Because he has a rematch, I would like to add.
Yeah. I don't want to see Cena champion.
Cena's going to claim his rematch. Sandow will make a turn to face and then at some point and cash in.
The Sandow case.
Yes. Yes.
I was just like...
You're welcome.
Now, all these divas, well, this tag team, Natalya, Eva Marie, and JoJo, they're part of Total Divas. Now, who was in that match? Brie Bella and the Funkin' Dactyls versus Natalya, Caitlyn, Eva Marie.
Right.
So there are about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 5 Total Divas on SmackDown, and now we have 3 on Raw.
Right.
And yet, no AJ, no champion.
No.
Well, she's on a verge of a concussion, I believe.
Yeah, she did have a little bit of a mishap in her last match, so maybe AJ's going to be out for a little bit, and they just haven't made the announcement.
But still, she can do what she did last time, just make this big speech.
Well, the last thing I want to talk about on this show was AJ.
Yes.
But
so let's go to
now that we're done with all we talk about, here's an independent wrestling promotion you might have heard about. PWA.
Pick Your Poison, right?
PWA's Pick Your Poison. This Friday night, October 18th, at the St. Sebastian Club, 86 Father Salami Drive, Ansonia, Connecticut. To get more information on it, you can go to
ProWrestlingAcademyCT.com.
What he said. www.ProWrestlingAcademyCT.com.
You forgot the dot.
I think people can figure out the dot themselves. They're also on Facebook at facebook.com/PWACT. PWA is a training center also in New Haven.
Where Jacob is training, right?
And Jacob is, in full disclosure, Jacob is a trainee there. He's on his second semester, right?
Yep.
And if you ask me, I think he's doing great. His trainer is doing some wonderful things with him.
Joseph von Schmidt. No one else?
Joseph von Schmidt.
Nobody
And
else.
there's also Quint Johnson.
Nobody else. Just Joseph von Schmidt.
Don't be silly. And there's some new recruits down there, and Jacob is the senior man showing him the ropes, so it's a great thing.
What matches are in store for Pick Your Poison?
Well, if you go onto their website, and you can vote. It's a fan's choice.
So
vote for the stipulation.
Yes.
For the stipulation, that's correct.
So far, Oswald will face Tommy Mack in, well, last I checked, with a bull rope in the lead. And then I believe Tiny won the votes for opponent against Bull Dread, and now an arm wrestling match, and in second place a debate instead of a hardcore match. But whatever. Now we have Joseph von Schmidt versus Lucifer Lords, which is not really confirmed yet, but we'll see on Friday.
Yeah, Lucifer Lords, as we reported before, is having difficulty with his leg from the last match that he had. That was pretty brutal. He got tossed around like a rag doll by Wrecking Ball Nagurski.
Former guest.
Yeah, former guest on the show, friend of the show as well. And Lucifer Lords.
Yeah.
Also guest hosted the show a number of times. But Lucifer Lords is rehabbing that leg, and hopefully by Friday he'll be able to get back in the ring against Joseph von Schmidt. Otherwise, Joseph von Schmidt gets another bye in the tournament, right?
What tournament?
Well, he got the bye in the tournament because...
What's his latest update? Does it look promising for Friday?
He's still in a lot of pain. So we shall see.
In the lead, a hair versus hair match. And then
Lucifer Lord's putting his hair on the line against Joseph von Schmidt.
Well,
somehow I don't think Lucifer will lose that match.
I think he'll do everything in his power to save his hair, because it took him a long time to grow that, and I don't think it'll come back as quite as long and thick as it is.
And then we have Buzz Bloodsaw versus one half of the tag team champions, Cooley K. So far in the lead, a straight jacket match.
Yes. Cooley K being one half of the house party.
Then Wrecking Ball is Gursky versus King Swipes. I believe in the lead was an eating contest or tables match.
Tables match.
Yeah.
Well, if they had an eating contest, it would be at a table. So.
Straight jacket match. Wouldn't that be fitting for Buzz?
Yeah.
What's under the mask?
What's under the mask? We're about to find out, I think, at Pick Your Poison. But go online, you can affect the outcome of the stipulations. And you've got, today's Monday, so you got till Thursday, I believe, before the voting ends. The stipulations that are available: lumberjack match, bull rope match, tables match, blindfold match, hardcore match, submission match, falls count anywhere match. And
I know what I'm doing when I go home this evening.
Yeah, I voted quite a few times.
I wonder for what.
I did the hair matches, of course. Sorry, Lucifer Lords.
Well, let's see. What else?
What else is going on? You got to get down there. Father Salami Drive, Ansonia, Connecticut, right?
Mm-hmm. There will also be a costume contest, candy, and more.
I like it.
Who doesn't?
PWA, as you know, puts on a great family-friendly show. It's really reasonable. It's a lot of fun, and you know these guys put their heart and soul and just everything in the ring.
And like we've said before on this show, with the indie shows, you're really up close. You're actually part of the action.
Oh yeah, you're up close and personal, and front row seats are available. I don't know, have they sold out yet? Ringside seats? Oh, they did sell out. Okay. Well, even still, it's a relatively small auditorium, and even the general admission seats are really close to the action. You're going to get hit with a little bit of sweat. Who knows? Wrecking Ball might pick you up and throw you around a little bit, but it's a lot of fun. You got to support their local wrestling. You got to support these guys. You know, you see where your money goes with these guys.
Absolutely. You know? I mean, I recommend the indies to everybody. Absolutely.
Even though we do cover all aspects of wrestling, and we do enjoy WWE, and we enjoy picking on TNA. The independents, you know, as I've stated, the guys that end up in WWE come from your own backyard. Velvet Sky came right from our own backyard.
Yeah, she was from Waterbury.
Waterbury, Connecticut, right. And she started on the independent scene, and she made it into TNA. You know, a lot of these guys that we're talking about, you're going to see these young men in either TNA, WWE, Ring of Honor, you know, one of the national promotions.
Since we're talking about people that went to TNA,
yep.
Derek Bateman, Ethan Carter III.
Yes.
He is coming up, I believe, next week or something.
Yeah, I saw the promo the other night.
Yeah.
Ethan is coming.
Yes.
And
Derek Bateman. He's been some CTWE, former person on NXT.
Right.
So he's finally getting a shot.
Do you really see TNA being around much longer, to be honest with you?
Not at the rate that they're going. To be honest with you, I've said it before. I'll say it again. They're imploding. They're quickly running out of money, and they need something to turn them around. Vince Russo wasn't the answer. Eric Bischoff wasn't the answer. I think the answer is getting rid of
Ace and Eight.
Well, Aces and Eights, getting rid of the former WWE talents and focusing on their homegrown stars and making their product their own. When Jeff Jarrett was in charge of the company, they had the six-sided ring, which was unique to TNA, and they did the X division, right, which was basically the cruiserweight, you know, a cruiserweight division.
But now it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy, not X division, he's going to be in a match at Bound for Glory.
Yes.
Samoa Joe, not an X division, he's going to be in that same match.
Right. Well, my point is they broke up the X division, which was unique to them because Vince got rid of the cruiserweight division, and this was something that TNA could offer that Vince wasn't offering. The six-sided ring was something that was different from the WWE product.
Six-sided steel cage match.
Right. Right. You know, lockdown. And
actually, every match was a steel cage.
Was in the steel cage, right? And they did, you know, while Jeff Jarrett was still in charge of the company, they were unique. They were different. You know, they were a wrestling product, but they were different enough that you know, it wasn't just like watching the same old, same old. And once Dixie Carter took over, she brought in the former WWE talent that you've seen over and over, and it became just WWE Part 2.
Exactly. And as you stated many times on this show, people are going to these shows and they're seeing the same people wrestle week after week after week.
Yeah, and as you pointed out, that their roster is dwindling down and dwindling down, and you're just going to see the same, you know, shuffle the cards and have the same matchups over and over and over.
Well, other than Jeff Hardy, Bully Ray, Taz, and Mike Knox, who do they have from WWE?
Angle.
Yeah, well, Kurt Angle, of course.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff Jarrett hasn't been on TV in a while because he's been doing their overseas operations, but
Sting.
Sting's never been in WWE.
I'm thinking WCW.
Right. But they also had, behind the scenes, they had Eric Bischoff, who was obviously wrote with WWE and wrote a lot of their, and Vince Russo, who wrote most of the Attitude Era storylines, and he tried to rehash all that in TNA. We've already seen it in WWE. I really think that TNA needs to sit back and look at, instead of copying WWE, doing something different from
exactly.
WWE.
That's why I was shocked by Dixie's comments the other night.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of that has to do with money, and Hogan's contract did expire with TNA, and he's looking to get what he feels he deserves. Whether or not we agree, he feels he deserves. But basically, his salary would have been almost what the entire rest of the roster was making. And TNA really, they're not getting the return on their dollar. If Hogan's going to bring that many eyes to your product, yeah, he's worth it.
Yeah, but you have to fill the seats in order to pay his salary. I mean,
not only do you have to put butts in the seats, you got to put ratings on the board, and the ratings are not even a third of what WWE does, and WWE itself has been down. And now we're in the football season. We're into the baseball playoffs. Go Red Sox.
Yes.
And basketball is going to be, they're in preseason right now. Basketball is going to be rolling along, and LeBron James, gets a lot of attention. And
hockey.
You're fighting, and hockey as well, right? So you're fighting for that same 18 to 35-year-old male demographic. And with WWE on Monday night, Wednesday night, Friday night, and
Thursday.
every other Sunday.
Well, it seems that way now because they're averaging 2 pay-per-views
every
a month
third
now.
Sunday, right?
Thursday,
And then Thursday night, if you count Superstars, right?
I still think they need to drop the third hour from Raw, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Get rid of Superstars. Drop the third hour and put NXT on.
That's a possibility because it's new talent and there's matches that we haven't seen before.
And
if they go back to right, and I think
the tag team.
I'm sorry.
They have the tag team for NXT. They're like heavyweight championship and the women's.
Right. Right, and I think if they incorporate the concept that they were using with Tough Enough into the NXT product, where you can bring in a mentor, right? Hulk Hogan would be a great mentor for
maybe they could use him in that capacity.
guys in an NXT capacity and show, hey, this is how to do a promo. Because honestly, I mean, other than superstar Billy Graham, right, and Jesse Ventura, who copied him anyway, Hulk Hogan was a great promo.
Yeah, he was.
And he still is when he wants to.
I'll give him that. So,
NXT, the guys in NXT are all learning. They want to be on the main roster. Let's see, their learning curve, so to speak.
Well, it ought to be interesting when they bring them in, how they use them.
Yeah.
TNA, get rid of Hardy because he's on and off with the drugs.
Right.
Angle keep for now because he will get you ratings. And just work with all the people we haven't seen in WWE, like Sabin, Storm,
AJ Styles,
AJ, Ego, Magnus.
Right,
Gunner.
give us something that we haven't seen on WWE and that we're not going to see on WWE.
Gunner, he's Mr. Intensity. He was like Festus. He's like Festus, but better.
Yeah.
Gunner trained by Watchmen.
Yeah.
So, all these people you can use.
Right, right. And, unfortunately, they've chosen to go with the former WWE talents and push that.
Chavo.
Just for name recognition.
Chavo, who was in WWE.
Right.
I just realized.
Right. And, of course, Devon, who had just left. And Bully Ray, who is still there.
Well, Bully's getting a pop.
Yeah, right now, because he's the biggest name on the roster.
And plus, he's champ.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much longer do you think he'll keep that, though?
Until the checks bounces, which is relatively soon. Spike TV is really, they want TNA to succeed, but they're not gonna. They can't keep floating them, week after week, and within a year, when TNA's contract expires with Spike, you're going to see either a major turnaround or TNA's just going to be off the air
I
altogether.
guess Vince made the 12 o'clock deal, huh, with USA, huh?
Yes, he did. We haven't gotten the details on that yet, but Raw will remain on USA.
I was kind of surprised, being that one of the sticking points was the third hour.
Yeah, yeah, it's strange how that's going back and forth. At first, USA wanted it, and WWE didn't want it, and then USA doesn't want it, and WWE wants it. I really don't think we need the third hour.
It's all recap, basically.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what main event is. What's gonna happen? What happened on Raw?
Since they haven't done the WWE Network yet, I would like to see some sort of programming where they show some classic matches.
Yes.
You can get them on that WWE On Demand, but other than like the DVDs, if you don't purchase the DVDs, you don't see these classic matches. And Vince has a library.
Oh, I can imagine.
Of stuff that he hasn't even scratched the surface yet. So maybe during Raw at that third hour or somewhere in the middle, they can flashback moment and show a great match from a guy like the Ultimate Warrior.
I would love to see that.
Or a classic Bret Hart match, or Davey Boy Smith, and say, look, and celebrate their past and celebrate their history.
Those were the good old days, as we say.
Yeah. A guy like you that didn't see it growing up.
They can start with HBK because he's coming back tonight.
Right.
Best impersonation, so all his WrestleMania matches.
Yeah, so with 3 minutes left, what's coming up with Talking with Tom? What's going on with you?
Our next show will be on Wednesday, October 30th.
The day before Halloween.
Yes, and from what I understand, Ed McCarver is already wearing his mask. So.
Kid Scrawny, we haven't heard from you this week.
Yes.
No boxing news.
But yeah, we'll be...
hopefully you'll be in Chicopee on Saturday.
Yes, we'll be in Chicopee, hopefully, if Jay's out of his coma.
And that's Eric Newton's.
Yes, and then also we have the Hunt for Gold October.
RWE, that's Jenny's product.
Yes, that'll be on the 26th.
Yes. And next week we have on...
The family, the Altamoris.
The Altamoris.
And we have some questions for them.
Yeah, where's the Hollywood J? And
he's in a coma, like Tom
has he come out of the coma yet? So, any last words? 2 minutes left to go.
Vote.
When do you think you're going to be on this roster, my friend?
When Eric Fox's dead.
Well, get on down to PWA if you want to learn to be a wrestler. If you want to talk about wrestling, come on our show. Give us a call. We're still waiting for some people to call us, which they haven't.
Yes.
And
come on, Ed, where are you?
Join us on our webpage, Facebook.
Yep, and tonight's show will be up by tomorrow morning.
Amen. So, welcome to the staff.
Thank you.
Tom Dacey. Thank you very much. Jacob Zimmerman. I'm John Zimmerman for the award-winning Squared Circle.
Good night.